Welcome to Pedantic Handwavium, the podcast that tries to explain fictional worlds using science. I'm Simon.
And I'm Jeff. Good, clean audio.
I should have had a thing ready, but it just as soon as I started, I was like, everything left my brain. I was like, I don't remember what we're doing, what's going on, where I am.
The disadvantages to recording on a weeknight.
Yeah, after a full week of work, and then me having to get up tomorrow early to go get on a flight. One of our favorite episodes to record was, at least one of mine, was the Cryptids episode.
Yep, nope, that was pretty fun. I remember not remembering it.
That's what I was going to say. Probably one of the best parts of it was the fact that I had to listen to it afterwards, and I was like, I have no memory of this conversation.
Yeah, I think I continued drinking absinthe, writing cryptid-based haikus, and then just, wandered out into the street at, 1 a.m. in the middle of a week. I had to work the next morning, but did not stop me.
Hey, that's the hard life of a podcaster. You gotta make sacrifices sometimes.
Drunken cryptid benders.
Yeah, so we decided we're going to revisit it, because,
there's always more cryptids.
There's always more cryptids. People keep on thinking that naked men in the woods are something, and...
well, most of them are naked men in the woods, yeah.
Yeah, and that's just fodder for us. It's just fodder.
Because we'll find a way to explain them.
Oh yeah. We'll be able to have long, detailed discussions about cryptids and their total existence.
Yep.
And you, listener, get to listen in on that.
Congratulations, and I'm sorry.
Congratulations. For anyone, for some reason, I don't know why you wouldn't know this, but I guess maybe you wouldn't. Cryptids are, I think their specific definition, and Jeff may be able to correct me on this, because this seems like something that he would definitely know about. They are creatures of which there's no physical specimen of. Right? They're only it's only
anecdotal sightings and people claiming that this is a footprint or these are their droppings.
Yeah.
But probably a good definition would be that there's no actual specimen.
That's what I think, because I was looking into the giant salamander that lives on top of a mountain in California. Mm-hmm. And they're it's technically a cryptid because nobody's caught it, but giant salamanders are real things. Yeah, so last episode we did a lot of American cryptids. We're probably going to continue to do American cryptids. You should listen to it. I guess
probably magical based on my fleeting memory.
This is not a sequel, so you don't need to listen to that one to listen to this one. But if you enjoy this one, that one also exists.
I thought you were going to say that one's better. I guess we don't know that yet.
Yeah, I do know. So the one thing I do remember from the last one that I love very much is that we had a long discussion about the chupacabra and if it would be possible to survive off of nothing but blood meals. And I had the idea that the chupacabra doesn't have lungs, so it has to survive off the oxygen of other creatures. And you were like, that doesn't make any sense. That's a bad idea.
Yeah. So now that we have that, little teaser of our last episode on cryptids, where are we going to jump in with this episode? Is it Chupacabras again?
No, actually.
Chupacabras 2?
The Chupacabriest?
Yeah.
No, I was actually going to talk about... So, I wanted to make a connection to the previous episode. We talked about Nessie. And we kind of decided that Nessie was a plesiosaur that had... It was several generations of plesiosaurs. It was fertilized eggs that were frozen in the muck underneath the lake. Or not frozen, but in stasis in the...
Is that what we decided?
Yeah, and so...
That sounds halfway familiar, yeah.
As the sediment gets eroded away, new plesiosaur come up, they get hatched, and that's Nessie. Mm-hmm. So Nessie's brothers and sisters of other Nessies that get spotted.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the question I have is that there's actually a pretty common plesiosaurs are pretty common cryptids. There's one.
Yeah, there are kind of a lot of them.
There's a ton. There's like one in like Michigan. There's a Japanese one. I think there's one in South America. So I wanted to address: do we think that all these plesiosaur are like? Are they related? Is it connected? Are they all this exact same mechanism?
I mean, it would probably either be the same or similar mechanisms, or there are tunnels connecting all these lakes, and it's just the same plesiosaur.
Yes, tunnels that we've never seen big enough to fit a plesiosaur.
Yep.
Yes, and just like that tunnel that would go from Scotland to Japan. And
yeah, no, you haven't seen it?
And there's nothing wrong with that tunnel existing.
It was a whole thing when they were building the Large Hadron Collider.
When they had to...
They had to go around the tunnels.
The tunnels.
I think the tunnel actually is through the middle of it.
Oh, so the Large Hadron Collider is like a donut. Like, more of a donut than we think of it being a donut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's like a donut. It's like a donutception. It's a donut in a donut.
You get it.
Is that it? Could you make like a turducken out of a like? Is that like a turducken but a
out
donut?
Of plesiosaurs?
Oh, you could. I'm sure you could do that. Do you think dinosaur would taste good? I feel like not.
It probably wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, I guess like frog's not bad, and like lizard isn't supposed to be bad.
Yeah, like birds are good.
Oh, that's true.
Birds
I guess
are dinosaurs,
kind
of technically.
Probably taste like chicken, wouldn't they?
Yeah, right?
Huh. Now I kind of want to... Do you think that there's ever going to be a time where we, like, do Jurassic Park, but we just do it to eat the animals?
I mean, I'd be into it.
I feel like... I was about to say, I feel like raising an animal just to eat it is unethical, and then I realized cows exist.
that happens a lot, and that is an argument that is made today.
And I guess genetically, I guess eating endangered species to me seems unethical. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. That was just something I wanted to address.
Right.
I want to start off with... Let's start off with this one. Everybody knows it. It's the Kraken.
Good old Kraken. It's that fellow that gets released in that movie.
Mm-hmm. So, he's a giant squid, apparently. But he's not like a giant squid. He's a giant squid.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, listener, I have a Linerson, so squid is a hard word to say. So the question is... And so it's Scandinavian water. So it's a cold water, like northern squid. And it's the size enough to crush ships.
Right.
I guess the question is, how does a squid get that large? Aren't squids kind of deep ocean creatures?
I mean, they can be, like, actual giant squids tend to be, I believe.
Yeah.
I do have to say, a lot of these illustrations of Kraken, they look a lot more like an octopus than a squid.
Maybe is it really an octopus? I don't know. I see a lot of squid-like ones. They got, like, the long heads.
A lot of the ones that I'm seeing on my Google search have, like, kind of the bulbousy octopus heads.
So there's that. Is it actually a giant squid? And also, why is it taking down ships? Because it seems like it really likes to take down ships.
I mean, is it that it likes to take down ships, or is it just passing, like, ships are passing through their territory?
It could be that. I feel like...
Do they think that it's, like, a prey animal?
But, like, if it's a prey animal, do they want to eat the ships? I feel like ships don't have a lot of nutrition.
Flavor.
Or that, too, yeah.
Nutrition makes a lot more sense than flavor. Yeah, I think... It probably would be an issue of defending territory than...
of hunger.
Feeding, because, yeah, all of the depictions, like, the crew of the ship are fighting back, and if I got shot and stabbed a lot, I'd just leave. like if I thought I was about to eat, like get a nice, easy meal.
That makes a lot of sense. It's kind of like a bear. Like bears are more likely to leave if they're in immense pain because they don't need to eat you.
Mm-hmm.
They're really just defending their territory or their cubs or something.
Right.
I agree with this. I think that makes a lot of sense. Do we think it's okay? Do we think it still eats the sailors as a side, like a hors d'oeuvre? Hors d'oeuvre?
I mean, I think if it were to get its hands on a sailor, it wouldn't not eat them.
Okay.
But I think that would be more of like, an afterthought after sinking whatever is passing through its territory.
Okay. Well, and here's...
I guess the other issue would then be, like, what creature, like, just has open water as its territory, necessarily? Or is that just the range that a kraken would live in, and they just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time?
It's true. I was also thinking, like, if it's like how does it breed? How does it remain going? Like, if there's an entire race of these things, you would think if they wouldn't be cryptids anymore, they would be a normal, just giant squid. So, So why is there only one of them? Is it just very rare that they breed? I think in answer to your question, I think maybe it's like, it's not territory as we see it as terrestrial creatures. So we're like, this is our land. Anything that goes beyond this land is just,
right,
whatever.
Right.
Maybe.
I guess all these depictions do have too many arms for octopus, though.
How many arms do squids have? 20? 25?
More than 8. Well, less than 20, more than 8.
Yeah. So, well, what I was thinking is that maybe because of its size, it sees territory as being like the surrounding 50 meters, like in a bubble around it. Mm-hmm. So anything that's with that close to it, it feels is threatening it, and it wants to just kill. Although the other thing is, why doesn't it just slaughter all the sea creatures that are around it?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking it might be along the lines of giant squid, where it is a deep sea creature. It comes up closer to the surface to feed, and it just has a very aggressive feeding response because it needs to feed. It only feeds when it's on its last legs.
It's almost like a hibernating creature.
Right.
And so it just kind of consumes everything that's near it, and then it slinks back into the deep ocean.
That'll explain why they aren't run into as often.
Because they're just so deep. Yeah,
right.
I like that. You just kind of sit on the ocean floor. So we're going with that. This is not just a one-off. This is a race of creatures called krakens.
Oh yeah, there's a whole population of these bad boys.
I like that. They're kind of like is it goby fish? The fish that lie on their sides.
Fish that what?
Lie on their sides.
If they're goby fish.
Maybe they're stonefish. Maybe goby fish are like normal fish.
I think there's a bunch of kinds that do that.
Oh, that's also probably true.
Yeah.
Do we think...
Definitely not goby fish.
I also like this idea. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is an octopus and not a squid. And it also has an octopies... Octopuses? Octopuses. Octopodes. It has an octopodes ability to camouflage.
I don't know if octopodes is actually true. I'm just shoehorning Greek into the rest of the word.
It is not correct. But do you think it has that ability to camouflage? That's what it does. It sits on the ocean floor, and instead of camouflaging as a little rock, it camouflages a really big rock.
Just as the entire ocean floor.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we don't even necessarily have to worry about why we haven't found it on the ocean floor, because every time we explore that deep, we find new species anyway.
That's true, and it probably kills, humans that get close enough to it, thinks they're food. gobbles them up whole.
Right?
Yeah, probably. It's a horrific death. I can see the waveforms.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Never go to sea. Stay on land.
Yeah, easy solution. I've played Subnautica ever. Never have to go to the ocean again.
Yep. Never go to the ocean. If we were meant to be on the ocean, we'd have gills and fins. That's actually
clearly
only kind of true. Humans are the only primates that can go underwater because of our downward.
I think other primates can go underwater.
I mean, yeah, but they drown.
They don't just pop.
Water fills their nose and they can't breathe. Humans, because of their downward facing noses, can create like the little like pressure bubbles that allows them to.
See.
Yeah.
Huh. Never considered that.
Mm-hmm. It's part of the aquatic human theory, which is scientifically incorrect. But it is very interesting because it's like a really well thought out theory, but you're also like, except that they're developed in savannas, nowhere near water.
Right.
Cool. You got anything you want to bring in? Because I knew you were looking at stuff.
Probably something that might be interesting would be the batsquatch.
Ooh, yeah, this is the one you sent me that looks like half werewolf, half vampire.
Yeah. So, yeah, the description, like half werewolf, half vampire, isn't really that far off. It's like a werewolf with giant, I mean, I would say bat wings, but they're definitely not bat wings.
Oh, yeah, well, have you ever seen Van Helsing with...
Keanu Reeves?
No, it's not Keanu Reeves. It's Wolverine, isn't it?
What?
Van Helsing doesn't have Keanu Reeves.
Oh, Van Helsing. No, I was thinking... what the hell was I thinking?
I don't know.
I don't know what I was thinking. Constantine, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, yeah. Very different movies.
Different guy.
Would be pretty cool to watch him fight, but yes, very different. I mean, obviously Constantine. I've actually now read a couple of like thought pieces about how Constantine is actually too overpowered in the comics, and I'm like, yeah. But do we care? No, it's Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman. And Kate Beckinsale.
Sure.
So this is for the listener. I don't know. Have you seen it, Jeff?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so there's a scene where the friar guy sees a painting and he like unlocks a secret in it, and it tells him like the history of like the werewolves and the vampires. The description that Jeff sent me, like the little picture, it looks exactly like that werewolf and vampire smushed together, like identically. So that's just kind of like in your brain, listener. Remember that one scene from Van Helsing, which I know you remember.
You gotta dig deep. It's in there.
Yeah. Sorry, that was just a little digression. So describe it beyond its physical appearance.
Yeah, description. Apparently reported to have yellow eyes, a wolf-like muzzle, blue fur, sharp teeth, bird-like feet, leathery bat wings, span up to 50 feet. Apparently it's 9 foot tall and has the ability to affect car engines.
Whoa.
So this is like a lot of animals mashed up into one thing.
And a lot of questions. Like, why would a creature with fur also have wings?
Well, bats.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I don't know why I didn't remember bats existed.
They're very sneaky.
They are. I feel like bats are kind of an anomaly because you would think that, like, feathers really help with, like, the aerodynamics of flight. But bats are furry. They actually got quite a bit of fur. Not on their wings, but on their bodies.
Yeah, no, they're weird.
They're very weird. Anyway, sorry. So I guess we answer that. We can just accept that they're bat-like. What were the other things? They got blue fur? Why do they have blue fur?
Blue fur. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know...
Is blue like a naturally occurring fur color?
Very rare. Like, you could just probably describe, like, gray wolves, maybe? Like, it only happens in, like, very silvery or very pale creatures.
Yeah, so for the blue fur, that could just be...
It's like an iridescence, yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking is actually... So you know how birds have, like, light underbellies and dark tops? Because if you're a creature looking at the sky, it's hard to see light.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a creature looking down at the ground, it's hard to see dark.
Right.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the blue fur is like a defense mechanism for when it's
like
in
a camouflage, sort of like that.
When it's in the sky, yeah, during the day at least.
Maybe, right?
What's the other things about it?
So I guess why would it have bird-like feet? And I mean, when they describe bird-like feet, looking at the illustration here, I mean, it looks like it has like kind of, a dog foot sort of look where I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's just up on the toes and the rest of the foot kind of looks like where the leg should be.
Yeah, it's it's a dog leg.
But the toes just are bird talons.
I agree with that. So, I mean, I'm wondering if it's like, I feel like I'm just adding fuel to the fire here, but maybe it's kind of like an ostrich. It's not like a dog leg, but like an ostrich leg, so it can run on the ground instead of hop like a bird.
What I'm thinking is that it started as like the dog leg and then became more bird leg like because it's perching.
So you think it okay? And so you think it's just like it's more of like an analogous structure to a bird rather than an actual descendant of a bird.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I mean, that makes sense.
So all of the batsquatches that couldn't hide in trees because they fell out of them died.
Well, I like that. I would also say I think in support of my running theory, large flying creatures like the birds that like waterfowl that are very large, they need a really large area to take off in because they need to build up speed.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the reason it has like running legs is so that it can build up speed when it needs to take off and jump when it needs to take off.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense because if it like swoops down or like has to stop to get food and it isn't somewhere high where it can just like dive
fall with
until
style.
it gets enough lift. Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, yeah, it's gotta have pretty big wings.
Oh yeah, no, they're the entire size of the body in this illustration, all 9 foot of it.
But I mean, like, I feel like wings are even larger than, because I'm thinking like unless it has pneumaticized bones.
Oh, I guess it does say that the wings have a 50-foot span. I don't know.
That sounds more correct.
The normal span of a bird wing.
Well, we gotta think of albatross is non-pneumaticized? No, it's the other one there. It's another waterfowl.
Well, yeah, it looks like an albatross has the largest wingspan at 12 foot.
Yeah, but an albatross is only like 2 feet tall. 2 feet tall? That sounds about right. I've never seen an albatross. I'm actually just guessing.
Yeah, no, I've never actually seen an albatross to know how big they are.
Yeah, and in fact,
I guess like any birds that get any bigger just don't fly.
Well, no, the California condor flies. It's the largest bird. It just doesn't have a large wingspan because it doesn't fly long distances.
Oh yeah,
that's what makes.
I guess that's the other thing. This doesn't really describe like how much it like the batsquatch flies.
It doesn't go into like, oh, here's its hunting territories and here's its...
Yeah, like I mean, I don't know if it's like hunting from the air or if it's like a flying fox where it just kind of uses the wings to glide,
just to kind of move around very quickly and then land and hunt. I feel like it does. I feel like it does hunt. Like its version of hunting is like a raptor because it looks like it has got raptor talons.
Yeah,
like
that's what I would think.
And so it probably lands on its prey and tries to break its neck.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe fly out, maybe just eat it right there.
And then it runs to get speed and jumps into the air and flies away.
Jumps off, yeah. God.
So I guess, yeah, like the biggest question about it, though, is it also does reportedly have the ability to affect car engines.
See,
I do not know how we can explain that one away. Like, the rest of it kind of makes sense. Like, all right, whatever. It's a big, awkward bird.
Those exist in real life. We get it.
also right, that also can just turn off your car. 'Cause maybe it's less like a mystical ability to affect car engines, and it just like reaches in and turns the ignition off.
like it's an intelligent creature.
like it shushes you and like, don't tell anyone, and like just takes your keys and throws them into the woods so you can't follow it.
I love that. And I like the fact that maybe the reason that people think it's mystical ability is because like the people that this happens to feel really bad about being tricked by a bird monster. just like they do this and then they go, no one will believe you, and then they run away and fly off.
No.
In this scenario, these things can talk.
Love that explanation, because like no one will believe that this happened, and the person misinterprets it as like they took the keys and threw it into the woods.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, just standing there, turned it off, and like no like thought even crossed their mind that they're talking about the entire batsquatch and not the engine thing.
Yeah. Batsquatch is like, these guys are idiots. God. So I like that idea. I would like to throw out maybe a little bit more of a scientific idea. Okay, so you know how.
So what's your actual scientific explanation?
Birds that migrate have those magnets
Right.
in their brain that tell them which direction to go. Right?
Okay, it just has bigger magnets.
It has like really big magnets in its brain, so big that they can physically shut off the electronics of a car.
All right. I feel like that opens up more questions. Like, how does their head not get stuck to the car?
Because it's not a magnetic field, it's an electric field.
Oh, right.
They're like constantly giving off electromagnetic pulses to figure out the magnetic field of the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. I mean...
So either we have two
explanations. It's slightly more scientific of an explanation than, like, a real, like, just troll of a batsquatch that hurls your car keys into the woods and flies away.
Yeah, I feel like that's good enough, right?
I mean, it's better than what I got. Mine was real silly.
I like yours better only because I think it's just great. I think I think more of our explanation should just be that they actually just do a normal thing and then people just say it's mystical.
Misrepresent it. Yeah.
Is there anything else that we want to talk about for this guy?
For this guy, let's see. Let's dip into this wiki, see if there's anything else interesting. Nope, that's it. Just a couple of anecdotal sightings.
Well, then I'm going to bring up, because we're already on the Sasquatchi, the genus Sasquatchus. Yes, Sasquatchides. There's an ape called the skunk ape from Florida, but it's also called the swamp cabbage man.
I did not know that part.
Oh,
I knew
yeah.
the skunk ape existed.
Oh yeah, if it's from Florida, it's got to be weird. So it kind of resembles
Weirder than just the skunk ape. They needed a new name.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of resembles an orangutan, and it seems like it's just like a really big ape. It's just a really big ape.
Yeah, it looks more like non-human primate than Bigfoot does.
Yes. However, I am wondering, do we think that the skunk ape is still related? So we thought that the Yeti was just the high altitude, cold climate version of the Bigfoot. Is this like an Australopithecus version of the Sasquatch?
Maybe, like, I can see that being an option.
Like on the SATs, it's like Australopithecus is to Homo as skunk ape is
Skunk ape is to Bigfoot.
Bigfoot, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely can see that.
Also called the swamp scotch. Swamp squatch?
I have so many other names.
Oh yeah, no. The majority of this Wikipedia page is just names.
It's just other names for it.
Other names for it.
I think probably what would be worthwhile to discuss would be differences between Bigfoot and the skunk ape. Things that like kind of differentiate them.
So they're smaller. It's got red fur instead of brown fur. It's got like,
I'm saying that it has glowing eyes.
Maybe I don't think it has glowing eyes. I think it has like, white patches where its eyes are, like a inverse panda, a negative panda. That makes more sense.
I don't know if that's the case. I mean, this wiki that I'm looking at describes it as having glowing eyes. Let me send you, because it is almost as good as the batsquatch.
As the batsquatch. You got it.
And here you go. Nope, that's plus. Enter.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a real creepy fella.
A real good picture. But it looks like he's a lot shorter. He's got longer hair, longer arms, bigger arms too.
He
much
looks like
seems
he's more hunched over though. So it might not necessarily be that they're smaller. They just don't have like,
but that they just have underdeveloped,
like they just don't stand upright.
Oh my gosh!
Like the big.
So
yeah, it's nightmare fuel though, isn't it?
It is. It's very scary. It's not a pleasant thing to look at all. So do we think like, so I this is why I'm thinking it's like the Australopithecus version of Bigfoot, which would imply that the Bigfoot genus originated in Florida. And
could be.
And maybe it happened to crossbreed with some of the people there.
I mean, it is Florida.
Say. But
not to disparage any of our Florida listeners. Y'all are very ambitious.
Yeah.
Hence the skunk ape.
Exactly. And the reason it's called the skunk ape is just because it smells real bad.
Yeah.
But
do you think that is like just a smell that it makes, or does it just like eat actual garbage? And that's just what it smells like because it rolls around in dumpsters now.
See, I have a theory about it.
I guess if it was in dumpsters, we would see them a lot more often, though, huh?
It's true. I have a theory about the skunk ape.
All right. Lay it on me.
So, like, when you look at, like, Neanderthals and, like, a lot of the humanoids, they are either outcompeted by and killed or are outbred and, like, get assimilated into humanity. I'm wondering if this is that when the Bigfootus, Bigfootus started and became big, and they also had similar things. So they start killing off the other Sasquatch like creatures around it. They outcompete or outbreed.
Right.
But they don't do that with the skunk ape because the skunk ape is then selected for because it smells bad. They don't want to be near it, and they don't want to mate with it.
Okay, I can see that. I like that. I like it.
Yeah, and it's different enough. It's the Sasquatch doesn't like being around enough. The Sasquatch just, even as it proliferated the world, the skunk ape, its primitive form, remained behind, untouched, and smelly,
and very smelly.
Very smelly.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Boy, we've gone to a lot of the, like, genealogy of Sasquatch.
There's always more Sasquatch.
That'll be, if we ever write a book about this podcast, it should definitely be the genealogy
of
Sasquatch. It should just
be 90% Sasquatch.
Yeah. Well, so that's the skunk ape. It's a fun little thing. You got one you want to do?
Let's go with the old cactus cat.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about this one.
Yeah, I have not read this yet, but I did read the user comments about it. Went right to the good bits. It's described as a bobcat-like animal with thorn-like fur, sharp bones protruding from its front legs, and branched tail.
Whoa. So we're talking about, like, the X-Men porcupine.
Yeah.
But a cat.
Right.
Does it have fur, or does it just have spines?
It has thorn-like fur. So I think it's just spines.
So I think, if I may.
Uh-huh.
God, wow, words are they're not coming to me today. I think this is a misnomer. I don't think it's a real cat. I think it's a conspiracy and a hoax.
Cactus. It's a real cactus.
It's a cactus. That part's not a misnomer. It's a walking cactus. No, I think it's a lizard. I think because
I think it's a lizard.
The way you're describing it, it looks like, or in my brain, it sounds like the spined lizards, like bearded lizards, not bearded lizards.
Yeah, I guess they kind of have spines in their beards.
Yeah. So that's close, but there's also those like hard shell lizards that like curl up into balls, not armadillos. Because I know that's what you're thinking. Like, they're not dragon lizards.
Shoot.
But you know what I'm talking about?
Is it the one that's adorable?
Yeah, the one that's like insanely, like, it's very small, covered in spines. It's like that hedgehog version.
Literally was just listening to a podcast that discussed them earlier today, and I cannot remember their name.
Oh, spiny lizards are a thing, and they're close enough.
I'll say it sometime later in the podcast when I remember. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so that's what I think it is. Does it look like a cat? Like, does it have like cat-like facial features?
Let me see what the description says. It says described as a bobcat. So, I mean, it might just be generally bobcat sized, which...
But
it could be whatever at that point.
I mean, well, let's take it... I mean, if I describe something as bobcat-esque, I'm talking... It has to have ears, which lizards don't have. I mean, well, They don't have... It has to have, like, visible ears, I guess you should say.
Yeah, like external to, like, focus the sound.
Yeah. And it's probably got, like, the cat-like paws, which lizards also don't have. So...
I mean, I feel like who's getting close enough to, like, specifically examine, like, yeah, no, it's got cat-like paws, it's a cat, when it is made of spines.
I mean, we got...
Like, I feel like that's where I'd be like, you know what? That could stab me to death. I'm good over here.
Obviously, you don't know that many ecologists, because...
I was going to say, I do say that. I have jumped into the middle of very stagnant water to get a frog, though.
Oh, yeah, and you can, like, touch bugs and stuff, so...
Yeah.
You are already unreliable witness.
You have defeated my argument. I am also an ecologist.
Yeah, they would for sure be like, that is a weird looking creature. I'm going to go touch it and see if it hurts.
Yeah. Now that's people.
Yeah, particularly wildlife people, weirdos. I can say that because my girlfriend will never listen to this episode. I do realize that I will be editing it while she is there.
And she will have to listen to it.
Well, no, I'll edit it with headphones on, probably. Because nobody ever wants to edit. No one wants to hear this part of the podcast.
Own voice. The middle part?
No, the part where we're talking. People just want an hour of silence. That's why people listen to podcasts. It's just like, I want everyone just to shut up. Let me just sleep for the
I just want to pretend like I'm focusing on work with headphones in so no one can talk to me.
Exactly. So I feel like it has to have more cat-like features. So I would say ears are something that's pretty identifiable that lizards don't have, but cats do. Why do we think it has ears, or do we think that it's something else? Do we think it has, like, horns that look like ears?
I mean, it definitely is a valid option. I mean, the descriptions I'm saying don't specifically describe the ears themselves.
but just says bobcat-like. Boy, that's a difficult thing.
Yeah, no, that is a very vague description.
It is, because I could get on all fours and I could describe myself as bobcat-like. And I am not a cryptid.
Well, we don't know about that.
It's very true. Aren't we all cryptids at heart?
Right.
I mean, yeah, I guess we gotta get...
We're just gonna, like, cold end, that's it.
Cold end. And that's the podcast. Yeah, well, I like that. I like the idea that maybe it has horns. And maybe it does have ears. Like, what I'm thinking is, like, the ear holes that lizards have, maybe its are open, and, like, but the spines cover it. So it looks like a mammalian or external ear, but it's not.
Okay.
So it has, like...
just to throw people off.
Well, it's still like
that's
hear
just
better.
A cat. We already got cats. We don't need to catch this one.
Exactly. It's like, what was the Futurama creature? It was the one that makes fun of scientists. Like that's its mating call, and it has just a big old target on the front of it.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was one of the extinct creatures that they found in one of the movies. Was that this creature that his entire mating call was
I haven't
just...
seen it then.
I think that's what it is. I think it has open holes, and that way it can hear better. It's a hearing thing for like bugs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. Do we want to do one more? I don't know how much of this episode is usable. So
how deep into this episode are we?
About 15 minutes.
50 minutes ish.
Yeah. Do we want to just go over the Mongolian death worm?
Well, I mean, we might as well. Everyone loves a good death worm.
Okay. So here's kind of a strange twist him up. Oh, what's the word?
I mean, a zig.
Yeah, that's a zig. There you go. This is a good like zig.
You thought we were gonna zag, but we went and zigged on you.
Yeah, exactly. This is a cryptid that's a parasite.
Okay.
So it's apparently a large intestinal worm that existed in the Gobi Desert.
Right.
Oh, let me read this real quick. Okay, and touching any part of the worm will cause instant death and tremendous pain.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
It frequently preyed on camels and laid eggs in its intestines.
On camels or cannibals?
Camels. Sorry. Aligners. Okay. Its venom corrodes metal, and folklore says it has a predilection for the color yellow.
Alright. That's a terrifying thing.
It is. Well, it is called the Mongolian death worm.
Well, I mean, I thought it might have been a misnomer.
I think...
It's not.
You're right. Like, this is the Minnesotan apocalypse beetle. And you're like, yeah, but it's really just like a normal beetle.
It's normal beetle. It has slightly bigger eyes than normal, so it looks real cute.
It looks real cute. What's from a series of unfortunate events. I just watched my roommate walk by, and I'm pretty sure he left because I was talking too loud. The series of unfortunate event, the most venomous snake. It's like called the death viper or something like that, and it's actually like a constrictor and doesn't. It's like a pit bull. It's like the pit bull of snakes.
Okay.
I'm just referencing it. It's something that's kind of like we were talking about it being a misnomer. That is like a cultural reference that you should know. That is a misnomer.
Oh, yeah, I don't know it.
Sometimes I can't tell.
I don't know if you've noticed at this point, but I'm bad at like any kind of pop culture.
Yeah, I get it. You've seen Mushi Shishi like 25 times.
Yeah, probably thereabouts.
You've never seen a single episode of Scrubs. I get it.
Well, I've maybe watched Scrubs as much as Mushishi.
Oh, well, that's good because Scrubs is great.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's like Anyway, this is a cryptid
Anyway,
episode.
Mongolian death worms.
Mongolian death worms. Let me say this as a weekend chemist is what I'm going to call myself as a chemical engineer who is now an environmental engineer.
Right.
Metal, acids corrode metal. So it has to have acidic venom is what I would say.
Yeah, that tracks.
So the question is, why does it cause instant death? I like how it says instant death and tremendous pain. Instant death would imply you weren't feeling pain. Does this mean that
it's just an immense amount of pain that sends you into shock?
Or is it that it's so painful that in the afterlife, you are in pain? After you are dead, your nerves are still firing, being like, this is bad.
I think it would be easier to explain mine.
I disagree. So
here's how the afterlife works. Welcome to the cryptid episode.
Where we finally break down that religion wall.
Yeah.
No, what I'm thinking is that maybe it's like skin secretions are highly electrically conductive and charged, so that to the point that even after the body is dead, pain receptors still fire. So it is firing those pain receptors. It's like those things, jellyfish. You know how like jellyfish have like those chemicals that just like intensify pain? It's like that, but to an extreme measure, to where it can actually fire receptors on its own.
Okay, yeah. Why would it do that? Would it help it move through the sand, do you reckon?
Yeah, I feel like it's just a defense mechanism. Like before it caused instant death. Maybe it caused instant death to humans because we're weak and fragile and stupid. But camels...
I feel like 7-foot-long desert worm wouldn't need that hardcore of a defense mechanism. Like, something like that sounds like it would be pretty, like, energetically expensive.
Jeff, it's such a cool idea.
No, like, it's a cool idea. I'm happy to work with it. Like, how is it being electrically charged helping it move through sand? Like...
Maybe it's not.
That's your angle.
The owl. Well, what if it's like this? Mm-hmm. What if moving through sand is what electrically charges it? Because that's what sand does. Sand can deposit a static charge on a substance.
Okay, so it's just is this horrendously statically charged creature.
Yeah, it's like an electric eel, but instead of generating its own charge, it has charge inside of it. That sounds very stupid, but
well, I mean, if it's just constantly moving through sand generating a charge, you know, like it's not storing it inside of it.
Yeah,
it just is a lot of charge, and it all discharges on like one real unfortunate person
that touches it. Exactly. So maybe it's not the So what is the instant death thing? Do we think that I don't think the charge is so great it's causing a heart attack. I think that might be implausible.
I don't know.
It takes... Okay.
What else would cause instant death?
Well, so here's the thing. Static electricity doesn't have a lot of amperage. It has a lot of voltage.
Mm-hmm. Right.
What kills you is amperage, not voltage.
Right.
So it would have to build up an immeasurable static charge without discharging it to the world to kill someone.
Mm-hmm.
Is it so maybe the instant death part is that it just also has venom. But you think that it because I agree. Okay, I'm going to say this. I agree with you that it's weird that an intestinal worm would have secretions that cause instant death in humans.
Right.
Maybe. Here's the thing. Going back to the guinea worm. Guinea worms can produce...
Great. My favorite. Everyone's favorite.
Everyone's favorite. It's not terrifying at all. And it's not the reason that we should all love Jimmy Carter. Maybe it's like a painkiller that it releases. Like, it produces fentanyl. And it's just so toxic that if you were to touch it, it's an opioid overdose. And you stop breathing and you die.
Okay. I don't know. I guess I'm more okay with that than...
Because it's pretty common for parasites, particularly intestinal parasites, to produce pain relievers so that your body doesn't know that it has an intestinal parasite. Right. And maybe camels are just real good at digesting opioids.
Yeah, so I like that in that started out, its evolutionary existence as just a normal parasite. For some reason, over time, grew to be 7 foot long as a species. And it just retains that secretion.
Yeah, well, it may need creatures to lay eggs in. And so the grown creature is 7 feet long. The babies are maybe a couple of inches, but you gotta poop them out.
Right. Well, these are described as 2 to 7 foot long. I don't know if those are the subadult and adult sizes, or if that's just oh look, a baby death worm, 2 foot. Because that's going to be a real the adults big are 17 camel.
It could be. I think because we don't know, this is our opportunity to just assume. This is the point in time where you get the little star going across the screen, and it just says, "The more you assume." Yeah, I think we could assume that it lays its eggs in creatures' intestines, and then from there once they hatch, they get expelled.
They are excreted, expelled, and then suddenly grow to be 2 foot long.
Yeah, and if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. It's energetically less strenuous to have something else take care of your eggs and create it for another creature than for you to take care of your own eggs.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I think we got that. Why does it have a predilection for the color yellow?
Does it have eyes? I don't even know if it has eyes.
I don't know either, but it would make sense that if it was instead of living in the large intestine, it lived in the small intestine, and it was attracted to the color of urine.
Is it attracted to the color yellow, or
it just says
what I'm reading here is covers its prey in an acidic substance that turns everything a corroded yellow color. So maybe it's attracted to that because that's it feeds on yellow because its acid turns it yellow.
Yeah, it's got chromium. It's got chromium 7 in its in its acid breath. That Mongolian death worm?
Just a real underdeveloped eye that can only see
one
yellow,
one wavelength.
Not yellow.
Yeah.
Just one wavelength.
Although now that I think about it, I guess there's a couple of metals that combined can create yellow, and yellow you could assume might be a broad definition. Mm-hmm. Sodium is technically red, but it's kind of an orange. It can maybe describe as yellow.
Yeah, well, then we get into color theory and all of the different things that different cultures call different colors.
That's also very true.
Yeah.
So who's to say? But I like the idea that it's maybe attracted to the color of its own, of what it knows is being digested.
Right, so that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, yeah. It might even have a sulfur-based acid. Probably not sulfuric acid, because that wouldn't do this. But
right.
But to the point where if sulfur, which is yellow, gets released, it knows it's organic material that's being broken down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Cool. Wow, we made it through even fewer cryptids than we did last time.
Which is kind of surprising.
It is. We spent a lot of time on that, whatever that thing was, the bear wolf thing. Batsquatch? Is that what it was?
Oh, this episode. Yeah, we did spend a lot of time on Batsquatch. It didn't feel like a lot of time, though.
It was 20 minutes. Yeah, it passes by. When you're talking about the Batsquatch, you're just having fun.
Yeah, right? I hope everyone had as much fun as we did.
It's true.
Because apparently that was a lot.
Mm-hmm. It's a good half the episode, probably.
That's fine. So now that half the episode is Batsquatch, let's do a nice, long, rambly outro so it's only a third of the episode.
Yep. Thanks for listening, listener.
We enjoyed having you.
Yeah. You should like and subscribe to us on all your podcasting apps. You should leave us
every one of them.
Leave us reviews, which is something we haven't asked for in a little while, but they help. We assume.
Maybe.
It's very
we hear
confusing.
Other podcasters saying they help, so we assume they do. They know what they're doing. We don't.
I don't actually think that they even know if they help or not. I don't think anyone knows.
Yeah, I think everyone has the disclaimer of they help, maybe.
But it would be good. It helps other people find us, recommend us to your friends.
Yeah, it can't hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, we're entrepreneurs.
Very bad entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurs that are getting into a business model that has pretty much been overdone for the past, I don't know, decade.
Yeah, thereabouts.
What else? All of our episodes are up on YouTube. If you want to also listen to us there, or if you have friends who are like, I don't like podcasting apps, and they want to listen to us on YouTube.
Yep, that's also an option.
It is. I know people like this, so we're on Twitter at Handwavium.
Yep, we're on Twitter. We have a website
at pedantichandwavium.com
or phandwavium.com.
I said at again. It's not at. It's just pedantichandwavium.com. I don't know. I'll edit it in. I'll edit this out if I said
well,
it.
I mean, I thought you meant like we are at this website.
You know,
pedantichandwavium.com.
I'll figure it out.
I should keep saying it so people have more like
so it gets stuck in the brain. Repetition.
Exposure to it. Yeah.
Pedantichandwavium.com.
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 That's the one.
Yeah. I like that website. I go to it all the time. I have it bookmarked as pedantichandwavium.com.
Oh. I usually go to phandwavium.com, which I think brings you to the same place.
That is pretty nice. I mean, that's a little bit shorter. phandwavium.com, and it's easy to remember because it's just like pedantichandwavium.com. You know what? I think everyone should
and you
really...
don't have to remember the word pedantic every time.
Exactly, or how to spell it, because we spelled it incorrectly. It is spelled correctly. We should probably take up pedantichandwavium.com because that might be what people are going to. Thanks to Joe Sopchak for our music. He made it. It was very nice of him. Is there anything else?
I think that's about it.
Yeah. Well, this was fun.
It. Hey, shortest outro ever.
We are right to the point.
I hope you all enjoyed Cryptids too.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time, listener. I love you. Have a good night.